Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today's video is what if Naruto is royalty. I hope you guys enjoy part 2. Like goal for this video is 100 likes. Please subscribe, turn on notifications, share with your friends. Also, today will be another text-to-speech, as me reading it is not that good. That's why I normally don't write a script, because I suck at reading scripts. But I will put a poll up. After this video, saying whether I should keep text-to-speech or not keep text-to-speech. Of course, I would just be saying the intro with my own voice, but text-to-speech will be reading the script I wrote. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Let's get started.
In Konoha, where is that demon? A villager would yell as the mob would run, bypassing the ally the demon was hiding. Why? Why me? The demon would cry as she would crawl out of the garbage. After cleaning herself off, she would walk to the Hokage office. At the entrance, a group of shinobi would cover their noise and step out of the way. As she walked past and walked up the stairs, knocking on the door. "Come in," she would hear as she would push the door open, revealing the Hokage smiling back at her. But soon, the smile would fade as he would see how messed up she was. A banana peel was on her head, and her clothes, once red, were not a dark brownish. "What happened?" the Hokage would ask with a frown. The villagers happened. The Hokage would slide out his hand and pat the girl on the head. "It's okay, Mito," she would wipe away the tears. Mito is the name her mother gave her before her death. The Hokage would take her to her home and wait there as she got herself cleaned up. "Gigi, will you take me shopping tomorrow?" Mito would yell from the bathroom. "Yes, of course, Mito." The Hokage would smile. Mito would walk out in red fox pajamas. The Hokage would smile as he tucked her into her bed and wished her good night. Before leaving, he could feel something coming into the village. Not now, but soon. Naruto was getting closer, but not there yet. The grass village was tempting to slay there, maybe build a new kingdom. He had another idea: to build a new kingdom for his people to stay in, and train them to use chakra so that they protect themselves. And, like himself, would combine his knight skill and shinobi skills, making completely new techniques. Finally, Naruto would think as he arrived at the gate. It took 2 days extra before he got here. "I'll need to get a hotel room." Naruto would walk to the gate guards and be ready to give the paper that A gave him. Saying that, he was a messenger from the cloud to help the Nine Tails Jinchuriki. The guard would read the paper and look at each other. "You might have to wait a few hours before we let you in." Naruto would raise an eyebrow as the guards would start guarding again. "Why, is there something more important?" Naruto would think as he walked to a tree and sat down next. While sitting there, he would notice a black figure running through the trees past him. Strange. Naruto would get up and follow the black figure as he would pass them. Closer, Naruto would hear. Looking in the direction the voice came from, he would see nothing. Down here, human. Naruto would look down to see it was from his bandaged hand. Looking at the palm of his hand, a mouth would form. "What the fu?" Naruto was about to yell before the hand covered his mouth. "Quiet, human, you getting closer to my jailer." Naruto would feel movement on his cheek. Bring a kunai near his face. He would see the mouth move to his cheek. "Okay, this is weird," Naruto would think. "Don't worry, human, this is a jinjutsu. Those mouths aren't real. I just needed your attention." Naruto would nod. The mouth would tell him to hide in the trees and wait there. Waiting there for a while, he would see a girl brush the tree landing in the clearing. "That's your jailer," Naruto would think. "Yes, and she has fallen for a trick." Naruto was about to ask more, but another shinobi would burst through the trees before he could. "Iruka-sensei, I learned a technique from this scroll. Will I pass now?" Mito would yell at her sensei. "What are you talking about?" Iruka would ask, but the answer had already been clarified. Jumping at Mito, she would be surprised as he pushed her to the side, the giant kunai bedding itself into his back. Naruto would grab his blade, about to pull it out. "Wait," the voice would talk again. "Wasn't my job to protect your jailer?" Naruto would whisper. "Yes, but wait. A moment is about to happen." Naruto wouldn't ask any more questions and watch the sense. "Have you ever wondered why everyone in the village hates you?" Mito would hear from her former sensei. "No. Mizuki, you can't." Iruka would yell at his friend. "Come on, Iruka, you hated this demon as well. I wonder what changed." Mizuki would ask as Mito would be in shock. "Anyways, you Mito are the Nine Tails." Mito's eyes would widen. "The Nine Tails is a chakra beast, and you can't kill chakra, so the Great Fourth would seal it into a child." Mito already connected the story. "That child was me." Mito would fall to her knees. Now, the voice would tell Naruto. Mizuki would throw another giant kunai at Mito. Iruka, being poisoned, couldn't move. "Move, Mito!" Iruka would yell as the giant kunai would get closer, but a sword would fly down before it could hit. Going through the middle would stop the kunai from moving as a boy would land on the sword. Flashback. "Gigi, can you tell me who my parents are?" Mito would ask Gigi when she was in her bed. The Hokage would smile. "I can't tell you who they are, but I can tell you what they meant." Mito would sit up, ready to hear her Gigi's story. Your mother was a very beautiful woman with her bright red hair. Mito would hear red hair and look at her own. Yes, Mito, your hair comes from your mother. Mito would smile at the thought that she has the same hair as her mom. Your father was a strong shinobi. The Hokage would smile at the thought of the boy he sent to become the next Hokage. Your father saved your mother when she was getting kidnapped by some bandits. Mito's eyes would widen. Your family name Uzumaki is a very strong clan that died out a long time ago. Mito would frown knowing that a clan died out. Well then Gigi, I will find a strong husband and make the Uzumaki clan again. Mito would tell her Gigi as he would smile. Then after I will become Hokage, making the Hokage shake his head in amusement. A strong husband, Mito would think, as the boy ahead of her was deflecting all of her former sensei's attacks. Wow, you call yourself a Jonin, as Naruto would jump over the sidekick Mizuki tried to use. Using Mizuki's leg to hold himself, he would do a spin kick landing right on Mizuki's chin and sending him flying. Come on, get up. Naruto would grab the sword he dropped. Mizuki gets up, rage in his eyes. Oh, poor baby going to cry. Naruto smiled as Mizuki would stand up. Annoying brat, as Mizuki would grab something from his pocket. Naruto would get ready for what he was about to do. Stabbing it into himself, Naruto, Mito, and Iruka would be surprised as Mizuki would grow taller, his muscles would increase in size, and before Naruto could see, Mizuki's knee would land in his stomach, sending Naruto flying, crashing into a tree, almost breaking it. Before Naruto could get out of the tree, Mizuki's hand would punch Naruto's face deeper, breaking the tree completely, and sending Naruto sliding to the ground. Ouch, Naruto would say, wiping away the blood from his nose. How that brat Mizuki would grab the tree and throw it at Naruto. Hey, do you mind if you can give me some of that as well? Naruto would yell, using his sword to cut the tree that was thrown at him. Still joking around, Mizuki would yell as he appeared behind him. No, just distracting, Naruto would say as Mizuki would punch Naruto, but this time he burst into water. What a clone, Mizuki would yell as Naruto would appear on a tree. It was fun playing, but it's time to end this. Naruto would put up a hand sign. Release, Naruto would say with a smile as seals would appear on the floor, shooting out chains that wrapped around Mizuki. What is this? Mizuki would yell, trying to break out. Those chains take chakra and use it to strengthen themselves, Naruto would say, smile, jumping off the tree. You still can't kill me, Mizuki yelled. My skin is too tough. Naruto would try to stab Mizuki, only for the blade to not go through. I see. Naruto would stab his blade into the ground and go into a thinking pose. As Naruto was thinking about a plan, something fell and hit his nose. Looking up, you would see that it was about to rain. Smiling, Naruto would remember the time A trained him in lighting. Flashback. What is the difference between chakra lighting and natural lighting? Naruto would ask as A would explain to Naruto. Thanks to the 9 tails making Naruto his avatar, Naruto can access natural chakra easier. And it seems the people in the kingdom had a better connection to nature, because there were no wars for years. Currently, Naruto would go through hand signs. What do you think you are doing? Mizuki would ask as Naruto would finish with his hands about to clap together. Well, you will see. Naruto would clap his hands as lighting would come crashing down, slamming into Mizuki. See, nature chakra doesn't like artificial chakra, so lighting is eating away at your chakra system, trying to make it natural. Naruto would smile as Mizuki would disappear. His existence is erased by the lighting. Man, he did hit pretty hard though. Naruto would touch his nose, which had already healed because of the 9 tails. Naruto would turn around and see them in shock. Walking up to Mito, he would get to his knees, making them at eye level. Mito, was it? Naruto would ask, making Mito nod. It's okay now, I'm here to protect you, Naruto would say, placing his hand on her head. You are not scared, Mito would ask, making Naruto smile as he would unwrap the bandages, relieving the fox on his arm. We are the same in some ways, Naruto would say with a smile, making Mito smile. She wasn't alone anymore. So let me get this straight, the Hokage would look at Naruto. You were sent here by the 9 tails to protect Mito. The Hokage would get a sweat drop as Naruto would nod his head. I'm too old for this, he would say as he would rest his head on his desk. Get up, Gigi, make him a part of the village, Mito would yell, making the Hokage sit back up. Fine, but only one condition: a team on Anbu is to follow Naruto here for 2 weeks. Naruto would agree. Also, Gigi, the Hokage would look back up. Yes, Mito. Mito would smile. She hasn't let go of Naruto's arm for the entire time. Naruto, here is my husband. This would make everyone in the room silent. What Naruto would ask as Mito would explain to all of them that Naruto was a strong husband to continue the Uzumaki clan, and the way he saved her was like her mom and dad, when dad saved her mom. Naruto didn't know what to say. What about Yujito, Samui, Koritsuchi? Naruto would think. His father and brothers did have all lovers. He was from a commoner mother, while his brothers were full-blood royalty. The Hokage would cough, breaking Naruto out of his thoughts. What do you say? This would make Naruto think. He would need to build his kingdom back and start the bloodline again. Would the other girls mind? He didn't have a close relationship with Koritsuchi, but he liked her. And Yujito and Samui. What about Mito? He had just met her, but she already seemed like a friend. I'll have to think about it, Naruto would answer, making Mito pout. Fine, then I will make you want me, Mito would say as she walked out of the room. Shaking his head, the Hokage would give Naruto his headband. My name is Hiruzen, the Hokage would say, shaking Naruto's hand. Naruto, he would say back. Hiruzen would remember that book one of his students wrote under that name. Strange, Hiruzen would think as Naruto would walk out of the office. Mito and Naruto would walk to her house as everyone awake during this hour would stare with hate but stop when Naruto stared back. This would make Mito happy. Weird, why would the village treat this girl with so much hate, Naruto would think as they arrived at her house. It was a decent-sized house with everything a person would need to live. A bathroom, bedroom, living room, and kitchen. So how's it? Naruto would turn his head to look at her. It's nice, he would say as she would smile, walking over to the room. Naruto would follow, see Mito take some blankets and place them on the floor. Sorry, I don't have another bed. Naruto would wave his hand. It's fine, he would lay down on the blankets. Mito would turn off the lights. About to sleep, Naruto would hear Mito call for his name. Opening one eye, he would see her looking at him. Where did you come from? Mito would ask. Naruto would think about what he would say. He had already told all of his friends the truth. He was royalty and came from a kingdom called Retros. So he told Mito his story. In the end, Mito would make another promise. She will help him take down this orange-haired man. That's what the others said as well. He would smile and close his eyes, knowing that he had made another friend. P.S. This will be a harem. The next day Naruto would follow Mito to the academy, Mito with her headband on her forehead, and Naruto's headband wrapped around his bandaged arm. Walking in, everyone would see Mito and continue doing what they were doing till Naruto walked in. Everyone in the classroom would stare at Naruto as he followed Mito to her seat and sat next to her. Damn, Mito, when did you get this cutie? And one of Mito's friends would say, asking the question everyone was thinking. Well, I'm glad you asked, Ino. This is my future husband. This would make everyone shocked. Already, Sakura would yell. Mito would nod with a smile as everyone would stare at Naruto to see his answer. Shrugging, he just looked out the window. Another question people had was that Mito and this Naruto guy had headbands. Mito failed last time. How did she get one, and this new guy got one? Iruka would walk in, making everyone quiet. Okay, class today will be team assignment. Everyone would yell in excitement as he would hush them all down and continue with the list. Every team will be the same. Till it goes to team 7. Sasuke Uchiha, Sakura Haruno. At the mention of those names, Sakura would jump out of her seat screaming. When everyone's hearing was back, Iruka continued. Mito Uzumaki, Naruto Retros. Everyone would be confused. That's 4 people, someone would say as Iruka would elaborate. Team 7 will be a beta team. Everyone would nod as Iruka would tell them their sensei. Your sensei will be Kakashi Haddock. How late is he? Mito would yell as Naruto would sit up, placing his hand on his cheek. So this is the famous Kakashi. Flashback. So this will be a 5-member team. Naruto would ask as Hiruzen would nod. Normal, it's 4, but you will be added to the team, since the 9 tails sent you here to protect Mito. Naruto would stand up as he walked over to the door. What are you doing? As Naruto would grab the eraser for the chalkboard, Sakura would ask, placing it at the top of the door. When opened, it will fall and hit Kakashi on the head. That would work, Sasuke would say as Sakura would agree. Naruto would walk back to his seat and wait with the others. A few more hours. Kakashi would walk to the last classroom. Lead the first 4-member Genin team. He would open the door as the eraser would fall, hitting his head. Hearing laughter, he would see Naruto and Mito. Well, I already hate this, Kakashi would point to the roof. Meet me on the roof. As he would disappear. He just came in here to tell up to go to the roof. Sakura would yell as the rest would over their ears. Arriving on the roof, Kakashi would be reading his orange book. So you're finally here, placing the book back into his pocket. Okay, introduce yourself, Kakashi would sit down as they would introduce themselves. I am Sasuke Uchiha, and I have little likes but many dislikes. My goal, not what will happen, is to kill a certain someone. As Sasuke would stare at Kakashi. Great, a person on revenge, Kakashi would think. I'm Sakura Haruno. I like stares at Sasuke. I dislike Ino Pig, and my dream is stares at Sasuke. Wow, a fangirl, Kakashi would think, pointing at Mito. I'm Mito Uzumaki, and my likes are all my friends and Raymond. My dislikes, as arrogant people and perverts. My dream is to become Hokage and revive the Uzumaki clan, Mito would yell, pointing at her chest. But Mito, you don't have a clan, Sakura would say, asking the same question Sasuke was thinking. Well, actually, the Uzumaki clan did exist back in the war area, but died off because the other 4 villages would attack at once. Kakashi would explain, making everyone surprised. And finally, you, Kakashi would point at Naruto. I'm Naruto Retros. My likes are my family and my friends. I dislike people who destroy my peace. And my goal is to rebuild, finishing off the last person. Kakashi would wonder what Naruto meant by rebuild. Anyways, tomorrow will be the final test to become a genin, Sakura would speak up. But we already passed the test. No, you passed the test to take the real test. Kakashi would correct. Don't eat breakfast unless you want to throw up, and meet at training ground 7, around 7 AM, Kakashi would disappear in a group of leaves. How did I know he was lying? Naruto would be confused about when Kakashi said don't eat. He could feel a pulse of negative energy. That's another power of mine, the voice would speak up, answering Naruto's question. So guys, do you want to go eat? And when another Mito would speak up as Sakura would agree, and Naruto would nod as Sasuke would struggle. They would all walk to Ichiraku Ramen, as the Tuchi would greet them all sitting down as they placed their order. They would learn a lot about each other, and thanks to Naruto's idea, they would find out each other's weaknesses, so the others could help them when the problem happens. At the night's end, Naruto and Mito would be walking to the apartment. So, what you said about the other girls, Naruto would turn to look at her. I don't mind sharing. All I care about is that you love us, Naruto would smile. I was able to love a whole kingdom. I think I can love you all the same. This would make Mito smile as they continued to walk. Before entering the apartment, Naruto would stop. You hear that, right? Naruto would look at Mito. No, Naruto would turn around. It's nothing. Naruto would walk into the apartment as Mito would follow. Somewhere in the forest. Pain was right, a black substance would crawl out of the ground. His natural chakra is higher than any sage mode, as the thing would go back into the ground.